Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Jess and welcome back to Planted Hippie. Today is part 2 to the IKEA greenhouse living wall cabinet build that I have started, and if you have not seen part 1, I please ask that you go check it out. I do preface that video by saying the audio quality is a little poor. I messed up the settings on my stationary filming camera here in the intro, as well as throughout the video when I did my voiceover using a just normal headset from Apple in their little microphone. It turned out pretty poor as well. So I do apologize for the audio, but the video nonetheless is great to show you the process on how I got the base wall down for my cabinet, as well as what products I use. So if that does interest you, I please ask that you go check out that part 1. But today I am going to be adding the living moss to the cabinet as well as the plants. So it's going to be a very fun, exciting video, and I do think this is going to be even more fun than part 1. So if that does interest you, I please ask that you stick around, leave a like, maybe even a comment down below, or even subscribing so that you are notified every time I upload a new video and to help me keep on planting. Also, please don't forget to follow me on Instagram at planted.hippie, where I post new planty photos daily. So with that, let's go ahead and get into part 2. Okay, I am all done with this whole upper half portion, so now I think I'm going to kind of lay it up so I can reach on inside this middle area here, and I will be back with a new position. And to see how much sphagnum moss falls out once we put it upright, and we will fill those patches too. Okay, so it looks super good, all opened up, and now we're just gonna keep adding and pinning moss. Alright you guys, so it is another day. I'm here in front of my IKEA greenhouse cabinet. She is still bare and empty. At least all the sphagnum moss is attached and pinned on. That is where I left you in our part 1. If you have not seen that, go check it out. Again, the audio is crap, but nonetheless, you get to see the first process. But today I'm going to be adding the live moss that we have collected through places on our travels, some from Arizona, some from North Carolina, some from Tennessee where my mom lives. So it's going to be really cool to see how that live green moss eventually takes over the cabinet, as well as we get to add the plants. So that is the most exciting part, I think, and finish this cabinet today. I am so excited to see the plants get in there and have this little mini jungle within my cabinet. So without further ado, oh, and before we start adding moss, I actually have to go ahead and drill the hole in the back where I left a little spot for the cords to be wired through. So I'm going to have my fiance Austin help with that, and then we can start doing the moss after the light is attached. So be right back with the footage of that. Okay, so we are outside and we're gonna drill the hole. Nice. Alright, so here's some of the moss that I am going to be adding to the cabinet. As you can see, it's like super green and lush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pin some on. I do have some other like very bright green live sphagnum moss from Austin, and I'm gonna add that in at the end so it doesn't dry up while I'm still adding the plants after this. So let's go ahead and pin this on. So yeah, I am going to be using these grow lights here. I get them at Home Depot. I am wishing I could put in better grow lights, ones that were preferably black as well, but oh well. These ones work great. I have them in my other IKEA greenhouse cabinet, so I can't complain. I may be putting 2 at the top. I'm not sure. I am going to see how I can fit them. And then I'm just going to be using some command strips to attach them to the roof. So let's go ahead and do that now. Then I have one of these little hole covers to guide the wire through in the hole that we drilled so that it looks a little bit cleaner. So let's go ahead and add that. I also need to pin some more moss right there that fell out while drilling, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and do that. Pinning it back where it belongs. Covering any foamy places that are sticking out. Cool. Hopefully the wire just goes right on through. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're gonna go ahead and lace it through. Just like that. Now the light will be ready to command strip. It looks like I'm only gonna be able to fit one grow light in here, which is fine. I'm gonna put it kind of right up to, I don't know if I should put it right up to the front. I think I should, so it can cascade all the way down. So going to add the command strips and go ahead and do that. Oh, I'm so OCD. I don't want it to be crooked. Oh, geez. Okay, you hold that side. And now we hold. Oh, I'm so paranoid it's gonna be crooked.
Hello.
This is gonna look so good when it turns on.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I have two nice 8-inch nursery pots that will fit absolutely beautifully snug right in both of these spots that I have here. Very snug. I'll have to go and readjust. But yeah, look how cute. I'm going to be putting my alocasia dragon scale right in here, and I'm going to be putting various cuttings as well as my monstera dubia right in here so that it can crawl up. And then I'm going to be putting my brand new Rhaphidophora cryptanthia right here in the middle so it can climb up the cork bark here. So let's go ahead and start planting. Alright, here's the first plant we're going to be planting right in the middle. Like I said, the Rhaphidophora cryptanthia, and she's just so cute. It's a shingling plant, and I think it'll just do really great right here in the cabinet going up the cork bark. So I'm gonna have to find a correct size nursery pot to also kind of fit in here, since I don't really want to plant directly into the cabinet. Eventually, if I want to take out these plants and switch them up for something else one day, I can still do that. So now that we kind of know the plan, let's go ahead and start planting these plants. So with the Rhaphidophora cryptanthia, I think I am going to actually plant her just directly into its pot here because I don't foresee me taking this one out. I am just going to take it out of this nursery pot and plant it directly into the cabinet because I don't foresee me changing it out since it is going to be shingling and attaching itself to the cocoa bark. Let's go ahead and get her potted in her new home. Alright, the next plant going on the left side of my cabinet here, so this little side here, will be my Alocasia dragon scale. As you can see, she is so beautiful and she is putting out a brand new leaf again. She is just so happy, so I'm hoping she will love cabinet life in a more naturalistic setting as well. So let's go ahead and get her potted in her new home as well. she is all potted up, all pretty. How beautiful. Oh, it looks so good. So it did kind of sink in a little bit, so I had to put some aluminum cans actually at the bottom so that it would stay level to the top like this. So I think it looks really, really good. All right, on to the next plant, which is going to be the Monstera dubia. So here is the Monstera dubia we're going to be planting in this other pot. It is so, so pretty, and I think it's just going to look so cool. And look how cool. So gonna go ahead and pot this into its new home. Alright, here is the other plants that I'm going to be adding into the same pot with the Monstera dubia. Here is my philodendron varicosum cutting that I took I guess it's been almost a few months now, and as you can see, she's put out this beautiful new leaf and now is pregnant with another one. I gave one of these cuttings to Austin and I sold off the other one, and I kept the top cutting and replanted it back into the mother plant. So this cutting is going to go into the cabinet. I as well have just a simple Monstera adansonii to put in as well to hopefully get nice and big and fenestrated and just fine around the cabinet. So I'm going to add this one too. I may one day add one of my philodendron melanochrysum cuttings into this cabinet, but we will add that once they're a little bit more mature. I don't want to ruin them while they're still rooting because they seem to be pretty finicky. So I may just pot this one together and then pot this one over here so we have a little bit of even vining action, since this side isn't going to be vining very much with the Alocasia dragon scale. I do want at least one vining up over here. So yeah, there's still room in this little pot. Just sort of make a little divot for her. And I'll just sort of scooch in her little stem here. And add the soil back. Add a little bit more. Going to take one of the wires and very loosely, I'm just going to make like a little horseshoe with the wire like so. So it's very loose, and I'm just going to pin the plant where I want it to sit. And look at that, she's going to sit right in there. So yeah, you can see her right there. I just pinned her in place, and now she's going to hopefully travel on up the moss wall. So let's go ahead and do the same thing to the varicosum on the other side. Or I guess the varicosum and the dubia. Just remember, wherever you do put these little hooks, if the vine does get bigger one day, you are going to want to go ahead and remove these so that your vine doesn't get all choked out. But it is loosely just holding it in place, and hopefully it won't cause any damage in the future. And look how nice and flush that looks now. Now we're just going to go ahead and add the varicosum. Roots are looking good on that. I'm going to go ahead and sort of pot it towards the back there so that it is again flush with the wall and facing towards this corner here, and hopefully it'll just climb on up here. And now we can start backfilling. Patting it down real nice. I need to go make some more soil. Alright, got some soil to finish this off. It's actually not wet soil. It's been raining all day here in Florida, so I've been having to work with like semi-wet soil that I had to grab from outside. And I hate dealing with it, so it's annoying. Grab some more for this side. It really does look like a little like rainforest in here. How cool. I'm going to go ahead and just pan you guys out a little bit so you can see what's going on. How cool. And I'm gonna let this, as you can see, the little growth point all the way back in there. The growth point back here is not tall enough to start vining up, so I'm just gonna leave the varicosum how it is right there. And hopefully it'll be getting enough light to vine up to the top. And let's go ahead and turn on this light and see what we're working with. All right, here is the final moment of truth for the cabinet. Oh, it looks so good. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. Y'all, look how pretty it looks all lit up. Wow, and it's still getting plenty of light down there, yeah. Austin, come look.
The light. Very cool. I like the cuttings. Those are good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Nice. That looks awesome. Sweet.
So up here in the corners, I had a little dilemma. I had a little spot in here, but I don't think I have pots small enough to fit that. So Austin actually just suggested I put something else in its place, like little figurines or something. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I have these little tiny things like this. So I'm just gonna put my little gnome in its spot there. How cute. I'm gonna do the same thing with this here little Buddha, and I'm gonna do it on the other side that I have this little weird patch missing. Here, he's happy in the corner. And then for these shelves here on both sides, I'm gonna add some cute crystals to decorate with. So let's go ahead and do that, and then also find maybe some trailing plants to pot in these two spots. Maybe some Hoya, since they will be able to take this really bright light up top. Okay, so for this first one on the left, I think I'm going to put my Hoya serpens right in there. I think it'll look really, really cool, and it'll trail down eventually, looking really pretty. And yeah. And then before we finish, I am going to add this Monstera Stanleyana somewhere down here, probably in the same pot as the Alocasia and the Amazonii, to go in this little corner down on the left, but we will come back to this. Let's go ahead and do the Hoya first. Okay, so I quickly just repotted that. Got some stuff on it. I'm just gonna pop that right in its little new cubby. Oh my gosh, it looks so cute. And then maybe it'll even kind of shingle on the moss if it wants to, or drape down. There's a bunch of peduncles on it, so I'm hoping it continues to do really well. And hopefully I'll take cuttings on it soon and be able to pot it back. But let's focus on this side now and do the Hoya Ficii in it. Hopefully this one will cascade as well. And maybe one day I may switch it out for a Hoya linearis, because I just can picture it draping down a little bit nicer, but this is what I have right now, and I think it'll look really nice for now. I think that looks really, really good. So now I think the last step is just again to add one or two more plants, and then my crystals, and then we should be all done. So let's go ahead and add the Monstera Stanleyana somewhere here at the bottom real quick. Alright, yeah, so I just went ahead and pinned that in. As you can see right here, the roots are just sort of hanging out, so I'm going to take some moss and some wire, and instead of having to pull up all the soil again like I did for the Adansonii, I'm just going to take the moss around the roots here at the bottom, direct them towards the soil at the bottom, and then pin the rest into the wall, so that hopefully it will just grow into the wall moss and into the soil eventually. But I don't want to have to dig it up right now. So that looks good. Those roots are also being buried, and that should cover her roots, and the Monstera Stanleyana should be climbing up as well. So I think this is going to fill in really, really pretty. And now lastly, again, I'm just going to fill in my I'm going to add some crystals up here on the sides to make it a little bit more whimsically in here. Let's go ahead and do that last step, and then we will go ahead and be done with this IKEA build. So yeah, right here I think I'm going to place my beautiful clear quartz tower. Putting it right up here. Maybe even into the corner. Yeah. Just so I'm able to put another plant maybe right here to cascade over here in the future. Maybe that's where I'll put the linearis one day. But yeah, I think that looks really, really pretty right there with the Buddha up top. If you can see him kind of tucked away back there, I think that looks really, really good right there. For the other side, I think I'm going to put either a rose quartz or a fluorite tower. So let's go see what I can find. I don't think I have enough space on these to actually put plants, so I think I'm just going to put crystals on them and make them cute. So this is the one side. I'm just going to have my clear quartz tower with my moss agate Buddha and my blue chalcedony trio mushrooms, and I'll do a up close b-roll of all of my crystals so you guys can see the actual colors, because from here they kind of look the same color. But let's go ahead and do the other side. We have our little gnome guy up here, and now we just gotta add his little crystal garden below. Okay, so for my last little shelf, I have these really beautiful golden healer crystals, and I think they will be really, really pretty paired with the other earthy green tones in the cabinet. So let's go ahead and add them. And yeah, look how cute. I may obviously change up my crystals and which ones I have in the cabinet, but for now, this is what I think I like. All right, the last step is now to just add some of the really nice live sphagnum moss that Austin has been growing in his grow tent for his carnivorous plants. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we can go ahead and get some B-roll of the finished cabinet. Okay, so Austin said the moss from North Carolina can probably go a little bit lower since we found this moss kind of on waterfalls and not really in direct sunlight. So we will put them towards the middle area, whereas the live sphagnum moss is going to need a little bit more light, and I'm going to be planting that further up near the grow lights. So let's put this where I want to put this. Just pinning it again wherever I feel like I want to put it. And hopefully, again, it'll just take off. It'll start spreading. I want to add some green. And just over here. Put some over here. Put some over on this wall. Again, just pinning it. Then we also found this really, really cool looking, it almost looks like star moss or something.
It's club.
It's what?
I think it's club moss.
So Austin says it might be called club moss, but I just think it looks so like dense and squishy, or like a little tiny forest. So let's go ahead and find a nice, I think this one should have a nice sunnier spot. So maybe we'll put it further up here. So yeah, I'm just putting this moss kind of to the left of the Ficii. I'm just putting some moss over here by Mr. Buddha. Now I'm just going to start adding the live moss kind of throughout the whole top region. And yeah, it sort of just sticks. It's very, very wet and moist, so I am just going to put one little pin in each cluster just in case it doesn't want to stay, but I think it'll stay put. Again, just pinning any spot that may not take. Let me just fill in this one last little spot right here. I am just sticking some over here on the side wall. It sticks really, really well, surprisingly. Some wire to secure it, just in case. And again, really hoping this gets all pretty and just takes off. Alright you guys, so that does conclude the build. Let's go ahead and show you the finished results. So I quickly just want to thank everyone if you stuck all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate you watching the whole process, and I really hope you've enjoyed getting to see me put my own little twist on one of these IKEA cabinet videos, and I really hope you enjoyed. But yeah, let's go ahead and do some B-roll of the finished cabinet. I also just quickly added my Begonia Roseo Puncat. I can't say it. Oh my god. I'll just use it. I'll just put it on the screen. It is my Begonia Roseo Punctata. And yeah, I think it just adds a super very colorful splash of foliage to the cabinet. And I also added, or Austin lent me a temporary little hygrometer. And yeah, I think it'll be really, really cool to see how humid it really gets in here. And yeah, I just wanted to quickly add that I just wanted to quickly share that I added this begonia quickly in after I was done filming. Alrighty guys, so that does bring us to the end of today's video. I so do hope you enjoyed getting to see the final outcome to my IKEA greenhouse cabinet living moss wall build. I am so excited to see how my cabinet will continue to fill out and flourish throughout the next few months, and I will obviously keep you guys updated on how it does. And yeah, I'm just so happy that you stuck all the way to the end with me. If you did, and if you did enjoy, I please ask that you leave a like, a comment down below, or even subscribing so that you are notified every time I upload a new video and to help me keep on planting. Please also don't forget to follow me on Instagram at planted.hippie, where I post new planty photos daily. So with that, I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!